Alright, so what's going on, guys? This is training log number 2. This is going to basically be my week of training for week 7, basically 2 weeks out at this point. And we got into some of the heavier working sets. It's the last time I'm really doing any triples for squat for the most part, and instead of doing 4s for bench, I'm down to doing 3s, so it's getting more powerlifting specific. This video is going to be a short one. I'm pretty much just going to be playing the clips as I talk in the video, so I don't have to really edit it in or do anything like that, and provide some commentary too, because I can just keep replaying the clips while showing it, and OBS is recording my screen and stuff. So yeah, week 8, day 1 is week 7 going into week 8. I'm excited for week 8 because it'll be the heaviest load so far. I mean, it doesn't look too challenging, but 5x2 at 415 should be fairly hard, should be fairly difficult. Yeah, I'm just excited to lift some heavy weight in the gym. Yeah, this week, day 1, probably gonna throw up the clips now. So it was a 420 at 7.5. The speed, you'll see, looked a lot better than 7.5. It felt really good too. And then I had a 5x3 at 405. So here's the move this over. Oh my god. Alright, so this is pretty much 425 at what was supposed to be 7.5 RPE. And as you can see, it moved pretty easily, it moved like an opener, so this might be what I actually take for an opener at the meet. I'd say the depth was definitely there. Don't really have an angle on the hip, but pretty sure I just sunk it. I usually sink all of my squats. I find as I do that consistently in training, it's not really something I have to wrap my head around when I'm actually like doing a max attempt, because I know a lot of people train just short of depth sometimes, and then come competition or come a mock meet, then they'll try to hit depth. But I just train and try to bury my squats as much as possible. Yeah, so 425 went up pretty easy, boom, racked it, felt fine. One thing I noticed, which I'll talk about after this set also moved fairly fast. I'd say it felt harder than it looked. The last set was much better, which I didn't really end up recording. The last set was probably quicker than the first set, and it just felt better, which is more important to me. If it feels good and the speed is not too great, I'd rather have that than have the speed be amazing, and then me feeling like poop, essentially. Right there, I kind of like almost fell back with the weight. What honestly ended up happening for the rest of the training session, the rack point that I actually have on the whole like squat rack is not what I'm honestly used to. I'm actually used to a rack point, I think 1 or 2 higher, and I just like figured that out for myself. Like I think it was Friday, so about 2 days ago, when I was squatting. And the thing is, I'd started, I think the first 4 weeks of the program squatting at, I think it was like basically the 5th hole in the squat rack, but I forgot after the deload. So since the deload, I've been squatting on 1 pin lower, and it really hurt my elbows and my wrists. But I think my squats are going to move a lot better now that I know where to place the pin for the rack. So yeah, the whole training session was pretty good. The last set was a lot better, but I didn't record the clip for that. Moving on, so that was day 1. Day 2, deadlifts, 1x1 at 8, 505. I'd say 505 moved more like a 7. It wasn't too bad. I think I need to be more consistent about how I pull. I'm not sure if I want to pull explosively or take my time, get the slack out of the bar, and just pull as efficiently as possible. I definitely need to get that down by this upcoming week before the meet for sure. So it was a 1x1 5x5, and then the doubles are really easy, 460. 84% on a deadlift isn't really that much. I'm used to doing quite a bit more than 84% for doubles. Like actually like 4 sets of doubles I'll probably put at like 90% or something like that. So yeah, clips for that will be up now. This is 505 for the single at 8. I think it felt like a 7 and it looks like a 7 or a 6.5. It's pretty quick. See, taking my time, I do the little shimmy just so I get really tight, pull the slack out, and then just go on at a fairly consistent speed. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. And then my doubles were 460. These felt like very easy, especially all the following sets after the first set felt very, very easy. Nothing too challenging. So it's fairly boring, but this upcoming week I've got pretty much the same scheme but with 470, so like 10 pounds lighter. I don't think it's going to feel that much different. And this is the last set of doubles on Wednesday. So this was a couple days ago. This is my last set. It's probably the fastest it moved. I've got my belt and everything, and there I am, kind of tired, kind of done with it. And moving on to bench. So bench is interesting. I actually like the way bench is programmed for TSA intermediate approach. Essentially what I did was just hit 2 singles at 8. For me that'd be around 275. 275 because I'm so used to warming up with it as a single. It moves more like a 6.5 to 7. I find that like a lot of the RPEs are like about 1 higher than they actually are. In terms of the program, we'll say RPE 8 feels like an RPE 7, or say 6.7, 6.8. So yeah, 2 singles, 275, and then I had a 3x4 250, which moved really, really well. I have the clips for the first and last set of 250. Let's see. So yeah, 275. This is the second single. I got liftoff plus commands, just to see if this would actually be a nice first attempt, and I think it's perfect for a first attempt. It's fast. It felt very, very easy, and really no hiccups or sticking points, which is very nice. And bench is probably what's going to translate the easiest from the gym to the meet. Deadlift and the squat might feel a little different with the competition plates and the different bars, but yeah, this is 250 first set of 4. It's my little setup. Skip that, unrack, and yeah, I actually pause all of my reps. The program doesn't say to pause your reps, but I mean, if I'm gonna lift in competition, I have to pause my reps. I'm just gonna pause my reps. Maybe at some point, if I hit a bench plateau, I'll go back to touch and go just to overload my chest, and then once that stops working, go back to pause and just go switch between the two. Yeah, here's the last set of 250 for 4 reps. Felt fairly easy. You'll see on the last rep it's a little sticky, but nothing too bad. It's my right shoulder was giving me quite a bit of pain, but I pushed through it and it wasn't really too bad. And my shoulder feels perfectly fine right now, so I don't think it's anything I gotta worry about. All my joints are feeling the effects of all this training, so I'd say it's typical. That was me complaining about my shoulders. So yeah, upcoming stuff, got week 8, pretty much the same thing, but got doubles, and I'll probably have a similar video to this by next week Sunday, and then ba-bam, test week, meet week, mock meet week, whatever you want to call it, tongue twisters and stuff, but that's it, and I think I'll wrap it up with that. See you guys next week. Peace.